Hey guys, today I want to share with you an updated video that I shot about 10 years ago. In this video, I talked about how to stop binge eating. What you didn't know behind the camera was that I was struggling with this personally, and the tips that I shared in my video were things that I found online, that I had been told, but they never worked long term. You know, they might work for like one night or a week, but after that I was back to my old habits. And you might be thinking, you know, here you are, this like fitness, healthy living YouTuber. What were you doing binge eating?
If you are consuming less than 1,000, 1,200 calories by nighttime, it's perfectly okay to have, 200 calories or however many calories you consume so that you're eating a healthy number of calories.
My problem was that I would undereat and I would over-exercise, and as a result, I would be starving at the end of the day. And when I was alone, maybe Nick was at grad school, or he was working late, or he was traveling for work. When I was alone, I would have something that maybe was less nutritious, or even sometimes it would be something nutritious like peanut butter. I would just like overdo it.
If you have foods that are trigger foods for you, just don't keep them in the house. Some trigger foods could be healthy foods like peanut butter, but a lot of people have trouble eating peanut butter in portions. So either just don't buy it or only buy single serving packets.
It was something that was really hard for me to beat, and for whatever reason, I finally kicked the habit for good about 5 years ago, and I didn't really know why or how until I saw this recent post on Instagram, and it really just resonated, and I wanted to share with you guys an updated post on how I actually beat binge eating. And these are things that worked for me, and as a result, I haven't gone back in over 5 years. So let's get to it. So this Instagram that I found, it was by When Harry Met Salad. This is what it looks like. And there are 6 tips on how to stop binge eating. And I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to talk about why they worked for me and how you can implement them. Tip number 1 is to increase your calorie intake. Some of you may be like, what? So this goes back to the whole under eating, over exercising concept. As a faster rate of fat loss coach now, we track our macros. This was something that I didn't do back then. Back then, I was trying to eat like 1,200, 1,400 calories, which is just too low for long-term success for where you want to go. I could eat 1,200, 1,400 calories, but it wasn't going to be sustainable. Whatever progress I saw eating that amount of calories, I wasn't going to be able to maintain. As soon as I gave up that restrictive eating behavior, I went overboard, and that's when I would binge, or I would try to eat that 12 or 1,400 calories, and then there comes the night that I just mentioned, and I'm overeating. So by increasing how many calories you eat, once nighttime comes, you are not going to be inherently hungry because you are starving your body. This might come as an aha moment, but when you look at the tips that I had 10 years ago, they were like, paint your nails so you won't want to eat into, a bag of popcorn, and or like measure it out. It's like, no, just eat more during the day so you don't want something that like is a dessert after dinner. Or if you do want a dessert, a piece of chocolate will satisfy that. Tip number 2 is do not ban your favorite foods. This was something I was totally guilty of. When I would try to get in shape for different photo shoots, I would ban cookies, I would ban donuts, I would ban gluten and dairy, which is something I still avoid gluten and dairy. But if I want a piece of cake, if I want a cupcake at one of Tommy's birthday parties, I will have it. I don't ban them. That way, I do not feel the need to binge on it. The mentality when you ban foods is, it's like you want that cookie, and since you can't have it, when you finally have it, a lot of people have this all or nothing mentality that they go and they eat like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they binge on that food. By not banning it, you're giving yourself permission to always have it whenever you want it. And if something's a little bit less forbidden, you're not going to desire it as much. It's kind of like that, I'm not going to make a stupid analogy. Let's move on. Number 3, ditch the cheat day mentality. Again, this is kind of like that all or nothing mentality that I keep mentioning. In the Faster Way to Fat Loss, again, this isn't a video promoting the Faster Way to Fat Loss, but we count our macros and, we don't undereat by any means. But on Saturdays, we have a treat day. So that means treat yourself to something that you love, whether that's wine, beer, a donut, cookies, cake. I keep talking about sweets because that's my thing. A big giant cheeseburger, French fries. Have one treat. Or during the week, don't have a treat day. And if something all of a sudden comes up, like say you're at a party and somebody is like, hey, we have cake. Again, here I go with the cake again. Hey, we have cake. There you go. That's your treat day. You don't have to say no. You don't have to feel bad about it because you know that you've allocated within the week that you have this one treat day. And again, if you don't have any eating issues, you're not trying to lose weight. These obviously don't necessarily don't cater to you. This is geared towards people that have binge eating problems. So if you have binge eating problems, allow yourself that treat once a week, or twice or 3 times. Again, I said don't ban food, so that's number 2. But number 3, this is don't have cheat days where you just go all out thinking, oh my God, I've got to starve myself the next 6 days of the week. I've got this one day where I've just got to really eat everything and getting out of my system. I kind of had this type of mentality, which it would be like an all or nothing. So you'd wake up, this is me in my 20s. I'd wake up feeling hungover and I'd be like, oh, I need a greasy breakfast. After that greasy breakfast, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm hungover. Let's have some pizza. And it would just kind of be like a binge eating mentality. And then it would be like, oh, I'm eating pizza. I'm not going to eat pizza again for like 2 months because I only have this like twice a month. So get rid of the cheat day. Instead, try a treat day. Tip number 4 is stop trying to eat perfectly. In the Faster Way, our mentality is progress over perfection. Do not strive for perfection because you're never going to get it. I have clients who will say, today wasn't a good day. There was an unexpected party at the office. And my response is, move past it. If you have an unexpected, high calorie, overindulgent meal because that was your only option, move past it. It happened. Choose a more balanced dinner option, but don't dwell on it. We are not aiming for perfection. We are going to screw up, or I just don't even want to say the word screw up. We're going to eat things that are not perfectly clean. I hate that word, but we're humans. I don't expect any of my clients, I don't expect any of you guys to say no to, a wing on the Super Bowl. I don't expect you to say no to the ice cream cake, at a birthday party or at the 4th of July. I don't expect perfection. And I really just try to instill progress over perfection. When you strive for perfection, you're not going to meet it. Something's going to break, and then you're going to go back to the binge eating. So we are not striving for perfection. We are striving for progress, making better decisions regularly throughout the day. If you have something that you mentally would deem bad, I hate that word. I don't think of foods as being bad or good. But if you do, then I want you to think about it. Did you enjoy it? Was it worth it? Yes, no, whatever. Move on. If it was high calorie, chances are you're going to be less hungry the rest of the day. So we are striving for progress, not perfection. Almost there, guys. Next one, carry water and snacks. This is a really good one, even though it's kind of obvious, and this is kind of similar to like what I may have said in my old video, but I'm gonna spin it a little bit. I do practice intermittent fasting. Some people think that intermittent fasting leads to binge eating. It doesn't for me. However, it could if I didn't carry around water and snacks with me. I'll always have like an RX bar in my bag, because if I am waiting until noon to break my fast and all of a sudden I have a hair appointment, I didn't bring anything with me, I'm hungry, I'm not gonna be out for an hour and a half, I will have that bar so that after my hair appointment, I'm not going in this like crazy binge eating moment. Or if it's like 4 o'clock and I want something sweet, if I have that RX bar on me, it's almost like as satisfying as a cookie, but it's a lot more nutritious. A lot of times when we are thirsty, we mistake thirst for hunger. So making sure that you're properly hydrated is gonna help your body stay in tune with your accurate hunger levels. Last one, don't food shop when you're hungry. All right, you know what? I said I hadn't binge ate in 5 years, and I still don't really think I have, but I will say that I am totally guilty of, like, at Whole Foods, if I'm hungry, I will go and get some, like, chocolate almonds out of, like, the dispenser thing, and I will eat them as I'm shopping. I now make sure that I only will get, like, you know, 10 max, which is probably still too many, but in my head, again, progress over perfection. I don't have a banned list of foods, so having 10 chocolate almonds does not set me off a cliff like it might have back in the day. Don't food shop when you're hungry. Whenever I food shop when I'm hungry, I always buy those foods that people do tend to binge eat on, you know, those huge bags of lesser evil popcorn. They're so good, but let's be honest, we all eat them in like one day. Me and the boys sat and ate an entire bag over the course of like one day. I don't count that as binge eating. It didn't make me feel bad about myself. I didn't feel the need to over exercise to like repent for it. It was just something that we had. That was our lunch snack. It was better than a bag of trail mix, I guess. But don't go grocery shopping when you are hungry. This is probably still one that I still need to work on a little bit because I do come home with just like so many different snacks. But even more, it's like when I go to Trader Joe's, I will totally buy, you know, all the foods, like, you know, the chocolate covered nuts, all the different kinds of gummies. I'll buy all the snacky, treaty foods that I don't at Whole Foods because I just like don't pass them. Like those foods are like off in a random aisle at my Whole Foods and I just never think to go over there, to be honest, because it's usually like the last aisle and I'm like, I need to go. I've been here for an hour. So that was a lot. I just kind of went on a few tangents. So I'm just going to quickly go through. Tip 1, increase your calorie intake. 2, don't ban your favorite foods. 3, ditch the cheat day mentality. Let's bring it to a treat day. Stop trying to eat perfectly. Carry water and snacks, and don't food shop when you're hungry. Lastly, Nick used to say when I was younger, like, just eat normal, just eat like me. Why can't you just have pasta? And when I was pregnant with Tommy, I like loved bagels. I loved pasta. And then when I was nursing, I continued to have this like insatiable hunger. And for whatever reason, I did just start kind of eating like Nick, and I was eating more carbs. I started craving less sugar. Craving less sugar led me to want to binge eat less. And for whatever reason, becoming a mom, having Tommy, nursing, all just changed my eating habits. Pregnancy and nursing really changed my eating habits. And now that I'm not nursing and I'm not pregnant, they still are the same. I'm not afraid to eat carbs. I eat a lot of carbs. 45% of my calories usually come from carbs most days of the week, with the exception of Monday and Tuesdays. It's part of the faster way. And I think for me, eating more carbs also helped me prevent binge eating. That was just me. But anyway, hopefully this was a helpful video for at least one of you. I'm trying to get better about uploading YouTube videos. I'll see you guys soon.